Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today I will solve the Cambridge O-Level Past Paper 2 Variant 21 October November 2022. Now let's start the paper. In question 1 part A, Abid works in an office for 5 days each week. Each day he works from 8:15 until 12:40 and then from 13:30 until 17:00. Work out the total time Abid works in 1 week. Give your answer in hours and minute. Now, firstly, we find the total time he works in each day. You can see here he works in 2 intervals. First intervals 18:15 to 12:40, and the second interval is 13:30 to 17:00. Now we see that the total time he works, first interval time plus second interval time. Now you see here the first interval starting time and ending time. Now the ending time is 12:40. Ending 12:40. And starting is 8:15, 08150. And the second interval, the ending time is 17:00 and starting time is 13:30. This is the starting time. Now total time can be obtained by subtracting. Now you see here 40 minus 15 is 25 minutes. And 12 minus 8 is 4 hours. Now in the second interval, you see here 17 hours, 13 hours, 30 minutes. You see here 30 cannot be subtracted by 00. We take 1 hour from 17, that becomes 60, and that is the 60 minutes. Now we subtract it, that is 60 minus 30 is 630. Now 16 minus 13 is 330. Now the total time 425 plus 330, that becomes 755 is the total time each day. Now that can be written as 7 hours plus 55 minutes. Now you see here he works in a week 5 days. Therefore 5 days time, that will be equal to 7 hours plus 55 minutes multiply 5. Now we multiply by this 5, we get 7 5s are 35, and we multiply 55 by 5, that value become 275. Now you see here 35 hours plus 275 minutes. Now the 275 minutes we convert into hours and minutes. Now we divide 275 divided by 60. Now 6 times 4 is 24 and 60 times 4 is 240. Now you see here that is 35 minutes. Now 4 hours, 35 minutes. Now the 35 hours plus 4 hours, that become 39 hours, 35 minutes. And he works 39 hours, 35 minutes. We write this answer here, 39 hours and 35 minutes. Okay. Now we move to the part B. In the part B, Abid earns 14.20 per hour. He is given a pay increase of 5%. Calculate the amount Abid earns per hour after the increase. Now you see here, this is the 1 hour earning is $14.20. Now the pay increase 5%. Now increase value will be equal to 5% of 14.20. Now 5% of 14.20. Now we take 5 divided by 100, multiply 14.20. The answer is 0.71. We write it 5 over 100 multiplying 14.20. You see here the answer is 0.71. Now the new Abid per hour earning, that will be equal to 14.20 plus 0.71. That is equal to $14.91. And this is the answer, 14.91. Okay, now we move to the next question. In part C, each month Abid divides his earning between rent, bills, and saving. He uses 20% of his earning for rent, 3 over 8 for bill, rest of the earning for saving. Now the ratio between rent, bills, and saving. We see that the earning, that is rent, will be equal to 20%. Now 20%, that means equal to 20 over 100. And we can write it as 1 over 5. Now the billing is ratio 3 over 8. You see here, and the next is the ratio. Rest of his earning are saving. Now for saving, we'll suppose that the total earning is 1. Now therefore 1 minus 1 over 5 minus 3 over 8. Here you have to suppose let total earning is equal to 1. Therefore, and for saving, he uses 1 minus 1 over 5 minus 3 over 8. Now we calculate it. Now you see here that is equal to 40. And that is 40 minus 5 times 8 is 40. 8 ones are 8. Minus 8 times 8 times 5 is 40. Therefore, 5 times 3 is 15. Now that value becomes 40 minus 8 minus 15, that is 17 over 40. Now the next is we take the ratio rent, bills, and saving. We take ratio rent, ratio bills, ratio saving. Now you see here the ratio of rent is 1 over 5 of total earning. Total earning is 1. 1 over 5 multiply 1. And for billing, 3 over 8 of earning. Now 3 over 8 multiply 1. 17 over 40 multiply 1. Now you see here this is 1 over 5 ratio, 3 over 8 ratio, 7 over 14. Now we simplify it. We multiplied this by 40. Now we multiplied by 40. That becomes 1 over 5 multiply 40. Second, 3 over 8 multiply 40. And 17 over 40 multiply 40. Now you get 5 times 8 is 40. Now it is 8. And next is 8 5s are 40, 5 3s are 15. And next is the 40. 40 will be cancelled. And the answer is 8 ratio 15 ratio 17. And this is the answer. Now in part D, Abid invests $2,400 in a saving account for 4 years. And the account pays simple interest at the rate of R% per year. At the end of year, he received a total $153.6 and interest. Now calculate the value of R. Now here is the investment amount is $2,400. We name it as P, and that is the number of year is 4, that is T. And we have to find the rate value, the interest value is 153. Now the formula of interest, I equal to PRT over 100. Now here is the P is 2400, rate is, we name is at R, and T is the time 4 year and divided by 100, and interest is 2400, sorry, 153.6, 153.60. Now 0 0 will be cancelled. For 24 times 4 is 96 R, equal to 153.60. Therefore R will be equal to 153.60 divided by 96. You see here, now we divide it, 153.60 divided by 96. The answer is 1.6. 1.6% is the answer. Party Abid invests some money in different saving account. This account pays compound interest. Now you see here, this is the compound interest at a rate of 1.4% per year. At the end of 5 years, there is a $1,822.38 in his account. Calculate the amount of money Abid invests in this account. Now you see here the amount that is equal to 1,822.38. Now the time is given here is 5 years, and the next is the rate is 1.4%. Amount paid will be equal to P principal amount, the amount investment amount, we name it as P into 1 plus R over 100 power T, here you can say N, the number of years. Now we substitute the value here, that is 1,822.38. Principal amount we have to find, and next is R is 1.4% over 100 power 5. Now that value can be written as P into 1 plus 0.014 power 5. Now we can write it as P into 1 plus 0.14 power 5 and 180.22.38. Therefore, principal amount, investment amount will be equal to 1,822 0.38 divided by 1.014 power 5. Now we calculate it. Now 1,822.38 divided by 1.014 power 1.014 power is 5. The answer is 1700. You see here, this is the 1700 is the answer. Now the investment amount $1,700. Now we turn to part A. The table shows the ages and height of 10 boys. Age are boys 10. Here is the graph between age and heights. Now the first part is the complete the scatter diagram. The first 6 points have been plotted for you. You see here, these are the points already plotted here. Now we have to plot the point 13 and 158. We see here 13, that is the middle value of the 12 to 14. That is the middle value is 13. Now we draw a line, dotted line. You can draw the dotted line, and at this position, the point is 113 and 158. After marking the point, you can raise this line. Now you see, we see that the next point is 17 175. You see here 117 and 175. Now the point 17 next is it is the between 16 to 18, that is the point 17. Now again we draw a line here to see the value of the height 150. We see that the 175. Now the value 175, we see that this is 2 centimeter, therefore the middle of the 180 to 170 is the 175. And that is the 175 value. Now we can draw this point, and you see here, this is the point. We raise the line, and from this we can easily see the point where the line. Now that is the point I clearly mentioned here. This is the point. We see that 13 to 158 is very simple. 13 to 158 I think is very, and now this line is 13 and 158 is this. This is the 158. That line is 158. Okay, next is the 13 to 158. That is the point. And next is the point 16 160. 16 160. That is 16 and 160. This is the 160 point. Now we have to draw a line here. Second point, draw a line of best fit. Now the line of best fit, that line where all the points near to that line, we have to draw a line in which the points near to these points. Now that is I think this is the best fit line. Okay, now we move to next part of this question. Use your line of best fit to estimate the height of 14 years old boy. Now we see here, this is the age of 14 years old boy. We see the height, you see here, and this is the point is 14 year. Yes, 14 year both. Now we see the value of the height. Now you see here, this is the height value. That is the 157, I think. This is the 152, 54, 55, 156 is roundabout value. And that is the 156 centimeter is the answer. Part 4, Simon is 22 years old. Explain why your line of best fit should not be used to estimate its heights. Now you can see here the range of data of ages is 10 to 18 years. Therefore, the range of the value 10 to 18 years, but the age of Simon is 22 years old. Therefore, because Simon age is out of range of given data. Okay. Part B, the table summarizes the heights of 180 girls in year of 7 of a school. Height at centimeter, the data is given here, and the frequencies of these heights are 8, 31, 55, 62, and 24. Work out the percentage of girls who are taller than 145 centimeter. We see here the height of 145 centimeter greater than, that is the 145 to 150, that is 162 number of girls, and after this 150 to 160, that is 24 girls. Therefore, the total number of girls taller than 145, the value is 62 plus 24. And these are the total number of girls who taller than 144 divided by total number of girls. We divide it Total girls are 180 multiplied by 100, and that is equal to 86 over 180 multiply 100. Now the 86 multiply 100 divided by 180, that value will be equal to 47.77%. We write it 47.77%. That means 47.8% is the answer. Part second, calculate an estimate of the mean height. Now these are the heights of the girls and these are the frequencies. The mean formula of the data is the sum of values divided by total number of values. Now we see here, we write the formula that's equal to sum of values divided by total number of values. Now to find the sum of values, firstly we find the class mark. Now you see here, here is the range of heights 125 to 135. Now we take the mid value of the heights of each interval. Now this called is class mark. Now you represent is class mark, that is represented by x. Now the x values is middle value of the data. Now you see here, this is the middle value is 125 to 135 is 130, and that is 137.5, the middle value, and 140 to 145 is 142.5, and next is 145 to 150, 147.5, and next is the 150 to 160, that is 155. Now to find the sum of value, we multiplied this 130 multiplied by 8 and plus 137.5 multiplied 31 and plus 142.5 multiply 55 and same as 147.5 multiply 62 plus, and that is 155 multiply by 24. Now the sum of values, now you can calculate by the calculator, that will be equal to 26,005. Now this is the sum of values. Then for mean will be equal to sum of values divided by total number of values. You see here, that is 26,005 divided by the total number of values. Here is 180 girls. Therefore, we divide this. Now, when we calculate, the answer is 144.4, and this is the answer. We write it here. Question 3, part A, complete the table for y equal to x cube over 2 minus 3x plus 2. Now, you see here, in the table, the value of y against 3 is not given. Now we substitute the value x equal to 3 in this equation. Then the y will be equal to x cube over 2 minus 3x plus 2. Now we write the value x here. Therefore, that value becomes 3 cube over 2 minus 3 into 3 plus 2. Now we can calculate by calculator this value. Now that is 3 cube is 27 over 2 minus 9 plus 2, that is equal to 27 over 2 is 13.5 minus 7, and that is equal to 6.5. Now we write this 6.5. Now next is the part B. On the grid, draw the graph of y equal to x cube over 2 minus 3x plus 2 for x is greater than equal to minus 3 and less than equal to 3. Now you see that the points of x and y are these points. Now firstly we plot the point minus 3 and minus 22.5. This is the minus 3, and then you move the downward minus 2.5, This is minus 2.2, 2.4, and this point is 2 point minus 3 to minus 2.5, minus 3 to minus 2.5. That is the point. And next point is minus 2, 4. You see here, this is the minus 2. You move from origin to left side minus 2 and then move upward. That point is 4. Next is minus 1, 4.5. Now you see here, this is minus 1 and that value will be minus 4.5. This is 4, 4.2, 4.4, and that value will be 4.5. Next is 0 to 2. You see here, the point is 0 to 2. Now we mark it 0 to 2. That is 0 and that is 2, 0, 2. And the next point you see here, the next point is 1 to minus 0.5. Now you see here, this is 1. You move left side, right side from 0 to 1, and then you move downward 0.5 unit. This is 0.2, 0.4, and that is 0.5. Next is 2 to 0. Now you can see here that is 2 and that is 0. And last is 3 to 6.5. You see here this point 3 to 6.5. We write is 3 and 6.5. That is 6 and that value will be 6.2, 6.4. That is 6.5. Now we join all these points. Now we join these points. And next is this point. Now this is the graph of the curve. Now move to the next part. Write down the coordinates of minimum point of the graph when x is greater than 0. Now you see write down the coordinates of minimum point of your graph at x is greater than 0. Now you see here the x is greater than 0. Now the values start from 0 to right side. You see here the value of this graph, minimum value of the graph. This point is the minimum value of the graph. Therefore, we draw an horizontal line which touches the graph. Now you see here, and this point, at this point, the graph is minimum. Now the coordinate of these points are, you see here 1.35, and the value of y you see here 1, 2, 3, and 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, and negative 0.7. Now you can write it. This point is 1.352 minus 0.7. At this point, the graph having the minimum value, you see here, the coordinates of minimum points will be 1.352 minus 0.7. And part D, use your graph to solve the equation x cube over 2 minus 3x plus 2 equal to 0. It means y equal to 0, that line where the y is 0. You see here this line, this is the line. And y equal to 0, this equation of line is called y equal to 0. We see that the intersecting point is minus 2.8. That is minus 2.8. Next is, you see here this point, and that value will be 0.76, 0.7. You see here 0.7. And next is the point 2. And these are the intersecting point where the line y equal to 0 intersect. This is the solution of this equation of the curve. Now we go to the next question. Now question 4, f of x equal to x square minus 4. Part A, find f of 8. Now you see here f of 8 will be equal to 8 square minus 7. That is equal to 64 minus 7, and that value becomes 57. This is the answer. Now in part B, f find g of minus 2. You see here this is g of x equal to 4 minus 3 into x over 2. Now g of minus 2 will be equal to 4 minus 3 times 2 divided by 2. The value is 4 minus 6 over 2, and that is minus 2 over 2, and that is the minus 1 is the answer. Next part C, find g inverse of x equal to g inverse of x. Now the g of x equal to 4x 4 minus 3x over 2, and that is equal to, we can to find g inverse of x, we suppose that let g of x will be equal to y, then x will be equal to g inverse of y, g inverse of y. Therefore we find g inverse. Therefore, we make the x as a subject of this function. Now you see here we can write it as this equation y equal to 4 minus 3x over 2. Now, therefore, we shift the 2 from right to left side, that is equal to 2y equal to 4 minus 3x. Now, next is the 2y 4 minus 3x, and that is x will be equal to 2y minus 4 is equal to minus 3x, then x equal to minus 2y over minus 4 over minus 3. Now you can write it as 2y minus 2 over 3y plus 4 over 3. Now x equal to f g inverse of y. Now we can write it as g inverse of y, that's equal to 2 over 3y plus 4 over 3. Now we replace y by x. That becomes g inverse of x will be equal to minus 2 over 3x. This is the 2 over 3x plus 4 over 3 is the answer. Now we move to the next part of this question. Now part D, solve f of 2x minus 1 plus 3 equal to 0. Now the 2x plus 1, we know the f of x equal to x square minus 7. That is x square minus 7. Therefore, we write it as x square minus 7. Then f of 2x minus 1 will be equal to 2x minus 1 whole square minus 7, and we simplify it. 2x minus 1, that is equal to 2x whole square minus 2 times of 2x into 1 plus 1 square minus 7. We use the identity a minus b whole square, that's equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. Now here that value become 4x square minus 4x plus 1 minus 7 is minus 6. Now this value substitute in this equation. Now we put this value here. We get f of x, f of 2x minus 1 plus 3 equal to 0. That is equal to 4x square minus 4x minus 6 and plus 3 is written as it is equal to 0. Therefore, we can write it as 4x square minus 4x minus 3 equal to 0. Now, we factorize this quadratic equation. Now that we multiply 4 to 3, we get 12, and we make the factor 12. We see that 6 times 2 when we take 4x square minus 6x plus 2x, next is minus 3 is written as it is. Now we take the common 2x common, that become 2x minus 3, and plus 1 is a common, 2x minus 3 equal to 0. And this is the 2x minus 3 into 2x plus 1 equal to 0, 2x minus 3 equal to 0, or 2x plus 1 equal to 0, that value equal to 2x equal to 3, and that x will be equal to 3 over 2. Now next is the 2x plus 1 equal to 0, 2x equal to minus 1 equal to x equal to minus 1 over 2, and the solution is, we can write is 1 over 2, and next is the minus 1 over 2, and this is the answer. Question 5, Part A. George has 2 bags, each containing black and white balls. Part first, George says, I am more likely to take black balls from bag 2 than from bag 1. Show that George is correct. Now, firstly, we see that how many white and black balls in each bag. Now, we see that in bag 1, there are white balls. How many white balls you see here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many black balls you see here? 1, 2, 3, and 4. And same in the back too. You see here the white balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And black balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we first find the probability of black balls in bag 1. Now the probability of black balls in bag 1. We see that 4 black balls out of total balls are 9. Therefore, we can write it 4 black balls out of 9. Now, same in bag 2, we see that the probability of black balls in bag 2 will be, how many black balls here? 5, and out of 11 black total balls, we can write it 5 over 11. Now the probability becomes, now we check 4 divided by 9. The answer is 0.44. 5 divided by 11. You see here answer is 0.45. Therefore, the probability of bag 2 is 0.45. Now we can say that it is more likely to choose the bag 2 for black balls. George is correct. Now we can say that the probability of black ball of bag 2 is greater than the probability of black ball of bag 1. Therefore, George is correct. Now we move to question number part second. George takes a ball random from bag 2, notes in its color and replace it. He repeats this 220 times. How many would he expect to take a white ball? Now you see here, this is the bag 2, and George chose the white ball. Now the probability of the white ball when he takes from the bag 2, now you see here the probability of white ball of bag 2, we name it as W2. You see here how many balls in bag 2? There are 6 balls, and he chose 6 ball out of 11. Therefore, the probability will be 6 over 11. And he performed this experiment 220 times. When he performed this experiment one time, now you can say that in one time, the probability of white ball is 600 over 11. When this experiment performed 220 times, how many times he expect to take a white ball? In 220 times, the expect a white ball expecting white wall, that will be equal to 220 multiplied by 611. Now you see here 220 divided by 11 is 20, and 11 twos are 22, and 2 times 0. Now that's become 6 multiplied by 20 is 120, and this is the answer. Now the Part B bag contains 7 blue counters, 6 red counters, and 3 green counters. Jasmine takes 2 counters from the bag at random without replacement. Complete the tree diagram. You see here the first counter. The probability here is 7 over 16, 6 over 16, and 3 over 16. Now you see here the probability, the total counters of blue, red, and green. There, if he choose the first counter, is 7 over 16 when blue choose 7 over 16, and that is total is blue is 7, red is 6, and green is 3. The total is 16. If he choose the first counter blue, and then the second counter is also blue, then in this case the blue number of counter become 6 because he does not replace the counter. Therefore, the total counter becomes 6 and the other remaining counter remains 6, 3 as it is. Therefore, the total counter is 15, and that's the when we take the probability of red counter, that becomes 6 over 15, and green is 3 over 15. And you see here in this, if he takes the red counters, then in this case that the red counter become 5 and the other counter remain as same. Now we write it as red counter 5 and the other counter remains same. Therefore, the total counter will be 15. Now the probability of red counter, you see here, total is red is 5. Now we can write it as 5 over 15. And green will be, you see here, that is 3 over 15. And the next is if we choose green counter. If we choose green counter, suppose that is the green counter. If we choose the remaining counter become 2. And the other counter remain as same. Now we write it 7, 6. Therefore, the probabilities will be, first will be 7 over 15 and second will be red. You choose red, that is total is 6 and the red is 6 and total is 15. Therefore, he takes 6 out of 15. Therefore, we can write it 6 over 15. And third is green. That remains he choose already green counter. Therefore, the remaining is 2 over 15. Number 6, part A, the position vector of point A is 4, 7. And the position vector of point B is 9, 2. Find the column vector AB. Now you see here the vector AB can be written as AB will be equal to OB minus OA. And now you see here OB is 9, 2 and OA is 4, 7. Now therefore 9 minus 4, that's equal to 5. 2 minus 7, that's equal to minus 5. Now 5 minus 5, the vector AB. Now find the AB magnitude. Now AB magnitude equal to, that's equal to x square plus y square of square root of this. This is the magnitude of any vector. Therefore, here is x coordinate is 5. Now we can write it as 5 square. And y coordinates is also 5, that's minus 5. Now we simplify it, that's equal to 5 square is 25 plus 25 is 50. Now we take the square root of 50. Now we see we see the square root of 50. Now we write it square root of 50 square root. The answer is 7.07. We write 7.07 is the answer. Now the part third, ABCD is a parallelogram with side AB, BC, CD and DA. BC equal to -4, 1. Find the coordinates of C and D. Now we draw a parallelogram here. Suppose this is the parallelogram. Now this parallelogram is not according to the scale. Now the point A is, this is AB, BC and CD. Now AB and BC are parallel, BC and AD are parallel. Now you see here the coordinates of A are 4, 7. Now the vector OA is 4, 7 and vector OB is, you see here the vector OB is 9, 2. Okay, now we find the coordinate of C and D. You see here, this is the BC vector. Now BC vector can be written as OC minus OB. And therefore, OC will be equal to BC plus OB. And BC here is, you see here BC is 4 minus 4, 1 and OB is 9, 2. Therefore, -4 plus 9, that is 5. 1 plus 2 is 3. And 5, 3 is the OC. Coordinates is 5, 3. Now we write it 5, 3. Next is the, you see here, BC is parallel to AD. If BC is parallel to AD, therefore BC will be equal to AD. Both vectors, this is the parallelogram, therefore we can write BC is parallel to AD, and that's where therefore AD vector will be equal to BC, and BC vector here is, you see here, that is -4, 1. -4, 1, therefore, and AD can be written as OD minus OA, and that is equal to -4, 1. Now the OA vector is 4, 7, therefore OD will be equal to -4, 1 plus OA, and OA will be equal to 4, 7, and we add this, that is equal to 0, 8, and this is the answer, 0, 8 is the answer. Now we move the next part of this question. Part B, P is the point R4, Q is the point TU, and the midpoint of PQ is 1, 3. The gradient of line PQ is -1, 4. Find the value of R, T, and U. And suppose that that is the line PQ. And here is the points P is R4. And that is point Q is, you see here, TU. Now the M is the midpoint, that is 1, 3. Now the midpoint of the line segment, that's equal to x1 plus x2 over 2. You see here, that is x1, that is y1, that is x2, and that is y2. Now R plus T will be equal to the x coordinate sum divided by 2, that's equal to 1. And same here is the y coordinate. That y coordinate of midpoint is 3. Now y1 plus y2, you can say here the u plus 4 over 2, and that is you can find the value of u here from this. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 4. Now the u will become 2, and same here is that is r plus t equal to 2. Now we see here the gradient of the line is PQ is -1 over 4. If the line, you see here that the PQ is the line and M is the point lying on this line. If the point lie on this line, the gradient of the PM will also be same. Now the gradient of PM will be equal to the gradient of PQ because M lies on PQ, and we use the property of the when a line lies on a line, the gradient of that line will also be equal. Now we can write it as, now the gradient of PM here is 3 minus 4 y2 minus y1. We use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now 3 minus 4 over 1 minus r, that's equal to gradient of PQ is minus 1 over 4. That's equal to minus 1 over 4. Now we can write it as minus 1 over 1 minus r, that is equal to minus 1 over 4. Minus minus will be cancelled. Now we cross multiply 4 equal to 1 minus r, and that is r will be equal to 1 minus 4, that is equal to minus 3, and r is minus 3, u is 2. Now we put the value here. Now that is minus 2 minus 3 plus t will be equal to 2, and t will be equal to 2 minus 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. Now the t is 5, r is minus 3, and u is 2. This is the answer. Now the next question. Question 7, part A, describe fully single transformation that maps shape A onto shape B. You see here the shape A image here is P. Now the size of the shape B is same as A, and the orientation of that shape B is same. Therefore, this is the transformation of reflection. We see that shape A reflect to shape B. We see that how many units move vertically and horizontally. Now you see here that we fix a point here. That is the point in shape A, and we see this point how many units shift vertically and horizontally. Now, so firstly we see that we moved vertically first. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that it's downward 5 units, and the horizontally you see here 1, 2, and 2 units. Now the horizontally it moves 2 unit, and vertically is minus 5 unit. Now this is the translation, and the translation vector is 2 minus 5, and this is the answer. Part B, reflect shape A in the x-axis. Now you see here this is the x-axis. Now we see that each point of the shape A. Now we see here this point is 1, 2, 3 unit above from the x-axis. Therefore, the reflection of this point in the x-axis will be that is 3 unit downward, 1, 2, and 3. Now we mark this point, and same here is next is this point. We take this point. Now this is also 3 unit above, and the image of this point will be 3 unit below. Now the next is that point. We see here this point is 1, 2, 3, 4 unit above. Now the reflection in the x-axis of that point will be 4 unit below. Now you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 1, 2, 3, and 4. And same here is this point that is 4 unit above, and we now that point will be 4 unit below. Now we all join all these points. After joining these points, we get an image of A. in the reflection x-axis. Now this is the reflection of A in the x-axis. This part C, large shape A by scale factor 2, center 5, 4. Now you see here this is the point 5, 4, and the shape A having points, suppose the A1. Now we name it A1 point, A2 points, and same as is A3 and A4. Now the enlargement shape image points will be suppose A1 dash, A2 dash, A3 dash, and A4 dash. Now the points A1 you see here, the points A1, we see that the points A1 is how many units vertically and horizontally away from the center of enlargement. Now we see that that's the horizontally. Firstly, we see that the point A1 horizontally 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 units, and downward 1 unit. Now left side 4, negative 4, and now downward is 1 unit, therefore negative 1. Now same here is the point A2. We see that that is 1, 2, negative 2, and that is negative 1. And third is the A3, that point says you see here that is 1, 2, negative 2, and horizontally negative 2 and vertically no, there is no movement vertically. Now the point A4 you see here, that is point A4 is 1, 2, 3, and that is 3, 0, minus 3, 0. And then the A1 dash, you see here the scale factor is 2. These points multiplied by 2, that is minus 8, minus 2, and same here is minus 2, minus 4, minus 2, and that's equal to minus 4, 0, and minus 6, 0. And these are the image points of the enlargement figure. Now we mark these points, suppose minus 8, minus 2. You see here minus 8 and minus 2. Now we move the minus 8 unit from this enlargement, this center of enlargement. You see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. This is negative 2. And same here is the, you move the minus 4 unit A2 minus 4 minus 2. Now we see minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, and downward 1, 1, 2. This is the minus 1, 4, 2 units from this center of enlargement. Next is the minus 4, 0. Now we see here 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 4, and 0. This is the minus 4, 0. And last is the minus 6, 0. Now minus 4, minus 5, and minus 6, 0. Now these are the points, and okay, this is the enlargement shape of A by scale factor 2. Now the next part of this question. Part D, transformation of P is required, is represented by the matrix 0, minus 1, 1, 0. P maps shape A onto shape C. Draw the label shape C. Now you see here the we have to transform the shape A by the transformation matrix 0, 1. Therefore, firstly we write the transformation 0, minus 1, and 1, 0, and we multiplied the matrix of shape A. We see that the matrix shape A matrix firstly. Now you see here this is the coordinate. First coordinate is 1, 3, and second is 3, 3, and third is 3, 4, and next is 1, 2, 4, And this is the transformation matrix of shape A. Write these points here: 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 2, 4. Now we multiplied these two matrices. Now we see that 0 multiply 1 is 0, minus 1 multiply 3 is minus 3, and second is 0 into 3 is 0, and minus 1 plus 3 is minus 3. And next is and 0 into 3 is 0, and minus 1 into 4 minus 4. And now you see here 0 into 2 is 0, and minus 1 into 4 minus 4. And next is the 1 multiply 1 is 1 and plus 0, and next is 1 is 3 plus 0, and same here is 3 plus 0, and 1 multiplied 2 is 2, and 0 multiplied 4 is 0. Now we multiplied row to column. Here you can see here. Now the values of these shape C will be now minus 3, 1, minus 3, 3, minus 4, 3, and minus 4, 2. Now these are the shape C matrix, and we draw it in the graph. Now the part second, describe fully single transformation that maps A onto shape C. Now we see here this is the shape A and this is shape C, and you see here this is the size of the shape C is same and your orientation is changed. Therefore, that is the rotational transformation. Now to find, firstly we find the angle of center of rotation. Now to find the center of rotation, firstly we firstly we join the image points and the shape points, and then we take the angle bisector. Where the angle bisector meet, that point will be the center of rotation. Now we join the, suppose this is the point, first point. Now we join it and we take the angle bisector of this point. Now the angle bisector of this point will be this line. Now this is the angle bisector of these 2 points. Now this you can draw the angle bisector by using the compass, and when after using this compass you can draw this line. And next we draw the second angle bisector of next 2 points of, you see here these are the 2 points. We take the angle bisector, that is that line we join. When we join this, the angle bisector will be the line at the passing through this. Now you see here this is this line will be the angle bisector, and you can draw by using the compass, and that point is called the center of rotation. Now you see here this is the center of rotation. Now we check this, what is the angle of rotation. Now we join these 2 lines here. Suppose that is the line, we mark this, and next is this line, this is the image point, and you see here the angle between these 2 lines to join the original shape to the center of rotation and the image point of the uh, transformation figure. And now we join these 2 points, join the point, image point to the center of rotation. We see that the angle between them is 90 degree, use anti-clockwise direction. This angle is 90 degree anti-clockwise rotation. Now the shape A onto shape C, that is 90 degree anti-clockwise direction anti-clockwise direction with center of rotation 0, 0. Now find the matrix representing the transformation that maps C onto A. Now you see here, this is A onto C. Now this is the reverse transformation that will be 90-degree clockwise. That is 90-degree clockwise, and that is the matrix 0, 1 that becomes 0, minus 1, and minus 1, 0 become plus 1, 0. This is the transformation matrix of 90-degree clockwise from C onto A. Now move to the next question. Question number 8. Lara and Marco each cycle 50 km on a cycle trail. Lara cycle average speed of x km per hour and Marco cycle average speed x minus 3 km per hour. Write down an expression for time Lara takes one conduct to complete trail. Now the average speed formula, you know, that is the average speed will be equal to total distance divided by total time. Now the time will be equal to distance divided by speed. Now here the Lara's covered cycle distance 50 km. Now the speed of Lara cycle, you see here, this is the x km per hour. Therefore, the expression become 50 over x per hour, 50 over x hours. In the part B, Marco takes 15 minutes longer than Lara to complete the trail, to form the equation. Now you see here the Lara takes time 50 over x. Now we find the Marco takes time, Marco time. Now the Marco time, that will be equal to total distance. You see here the distance is 50 and the speed of Marco cycle is x minus 3 km per hour. Now that is expression is 50 over x minus 3 hours. Now you see here the difference between Marco and Lara, that is 15 minutes. Now we can write it as 50 over x minus 3, 50 over x minus 3 minus 50 over x. The total time is 15 minutes, and you convert the time minutes into hour. When you convert minutes into hours, from bigger to smaller to bigger unit, is divided by 60. LCM of x and x minus 3 is, that is x into x minus 3. Now we use the cross method. Here the x will multiply by 50, 50x, and 50 multiplied by x minus 3. That's equal to 15 times 1 and 15 times 4 is 60. Now with that we get 1 over 4. Now we simplify 50x minus 50x and minus plus 50 times 3 is 150 and divided by x square minus 3x. That is equal to 1 over 4. 50x plus 50x will be cancelled. Now you see here that is 150. You will cross multiply. 150 multiply 4. That is equal to x square minus 3x. Now that value become 15 fours are 60 and 600. That is equal to x square minus 3x. Now x square minus 3x minus 600 equal to 0. Now hence to form this equation, we have to show this, and this is x square minus 3x minus 600. Now solve this equation and give your answer correct to 2 decimal place. When the this statement is given, it means that quadratic equation cannot be factorized by midterm breaking method. Now, therefore, we use the quadratic formula here. Now, the quadratic equation, the quadratic formula is x equal to minus p plus minus b square minus 4ac square root over 2a. This the coefficient of x here is called a, coefficient of x is called b, and the constant is c. Now here is the b is minus 3 and plus minus b square, that is b is minus 3 whole square minus 4 times a is, you see here is 1 and c is minus 600. Now we take the square root and a is 1. Now that value become 9. 3 plus minus 3 is plus 3 plus minus, and that is equal to 3 minus 3 square. You can see here that is 9 minus minus plus 4 times 600, that is equal to 2400 over 2. Now that value can be written as x equal to 3 plus 2409 square root over 2, and or x equal to 3 minus square root of 2409 over 2. 3 divided 2, 3 divided 2 plus 2409 square root divided by 2, that is equal to 26.04. Now the answer is 26.04, and the next answer we see here, that is equal to, you can see here, that is 3 divided by 2 minus 2409 square root divided by 2, that value is equal to minus 23.0. Now the answer is minus 23.04. Now we write the answer 6.04, and that the other is minus 23.04, and this is the answer of this equation. Now in part D, find the time Marco takes to complete the trail. Now give your answer in hours and minutes to correct to nearest minute. Now you see here the time will be equal to time expression of Marco is equal to 50 over x minus 3. Now we already find the value of x is 26.04. We write it 50 over 26 minus 3. That value becomes 50 over 23. Now we see the answer. Now we see that 50 divided by 23, the answer is 2.17. Now the 2.17 hours. We see that the 2 hours plus 0.17 hour, we convert this into minutes. Therefore, when we convert hours into minutes, we multiply it by 60. 0.17 multiply 60, that become minutes. Now 2 hours into say 0.17 multiply 60, we see that that value become 10.2, and that we can write 10 minutes. 2 hours and 10 minutes is the answer. Now we go to the next question. Question 9, part A. Kate thinks of a number n. She subtracts 8 from the number and multiplies the result by 3. The answer is 11 less than the number she thought of. Form an equation in n and solve it to find the Kate's number. Now you see here the number is n. When you subtract the number, when you subtract 8 from the number, that becomes n minus 8, and multiply the result by 3. Now you multiply it by 3. The answer is 11 less than the number she thought. Suppose the number she thought is n. Therefore, that answer is 11 less than that number. Therefore, we add the 11 to balance the equation because that result is 11 less than that given number. Now we multiply this 3 to n and then 3 to 8. We get 3n minus 8 times 3 is 24 plus 11, that's equal to n. And then 3n, we shift the n from right side to left side, minus n. And that is equal to minus 13 equal to 0. That is 2n equal to minus 13 shift from left to right side. That is equal to 13. Then n equal to 13 over 2. That n equal to 6.5 is the answer. Now the next part, write as a single fraction in simplest form. Now you see here that is the fraction x square minus 2 divided by x square plus 2x plus 4. Now we factorize this x square minus 4, that is equal to x plus 2 into x minus 2. We use the identity rule here, a square minus b square, that is equal to a plus b into a minus b. Now therefore that become x plus 2 into x minus 2 our 2 divided by, now we take the common x into x plus 2 over 4. Now you see here, first we convert into multiply. The right fraction will be reversed, that become 4 over x into x plus 2 and then x plus 2 into x minus 2 over 2. Now that x plus 2 will be cancelled and that 2 times 1 and 2 times 2 is 4. Now the result is 2 into x minus 2 over x, and this is the fraction 2 in 2x minus 4 over x is the answer. Now we move the next part of this question. Question 10a, the diagram shows the position of 3 points P, Q and R. Q is on bearing of 52 degree from P. PQ is 11.5 kilometer, QR is 14.6, PR is 17.2. Calculate the bearing of Q from R. Now you see here, this is the bearing of 52 degree from P. Now it means this is it is the angle from the north at P towards Q. That angle will be 52 degree. You can see here that angle is 52 degree in clockwise direction, 0, 52 degree. Now the next is you have to find the bearing of R from Q. It means this is the angle from the north at Q. The angle from the north at Q. Now you see here, this is the north, and now that you can mention this is north, and the angle from the north at Q towards P, that angle will be this angle we have to find. Now the angle NQR, that angle we name it as NQR, will be equal to, if we total angle around this point, you see here, this is the 360 degree. Now we subtract this, now if we take this 360 degree, now we subtract this angle. That angle is NQP, NQP, and next is the angle, suppose this angle PQR minus PQR, that will be the bearing of R from Q. Now you can see here, this 360 degree minus NQP, you can see here, these are two parallel lines. These are two parallel lines and these are interior angles. Now we can find the sum of interior angle equal to 180. It means that angle will be 180 minus 52 degree. Now 180 minus 52, you see here 128. That angle is 128. Now the angle PQR can be found. You see here, this is the triangle PQR. In this triangle PQR, we can find this angle by using the cosine rule, because three sides of a triangle is given. Now, when the three sides and one angle is given, then in this relationship, we use the cosine rule. In this cosine rule, you see here, that is equal to PR square equal to QR square plus QP square minus 2QR into QP into cos of the angle PQR, the angle cos of angle PQR. Now we can find this angle. This is the angle PQR we have to find. Now the value of PR, you see here, the value of PR is 17.2 whole square, QR 14.6, 14.6 whole square, plus QP, you can see 11.5, 11.5 square minus 2 times of 14.6 into 11.5 into cos of PQR. From right to left side, now cos PQR, that can be written as 14.6 square plus 11.5 square minus 17.2 square divided by 2 into 14.6 into 11.5, and now we calculate it. Now firstly we take 14.6 square plus 11.5 square minus 17.2 square, that's equal to 49.57 divided by 2 divided by 14.6 and divided by 17 point divided by 11.5. Now answer is 0.14. Now we take the cos inverse, that is 81.5 degree, which now the angle PQR, that's equal to 81.5 degree is the angle. Now we put the value in this equation. See that the 360 minus 128 minus 81.5, the answer is 150.5. Now we write this value here, 81.5, that is equal to 150.5. This is the bearing of R from Q, and this is the answer, 150.5 degree. Now we see the part B. A point A is a point on horizontal ground. The angle of elevation of the top of a vertical mast from A is 68 degree. Correct to nearest degree. The distance of the base of the mast from A is 45 meter. Correct to nearest meter. Now to calculate the lower bound of the height of the mast. Now this is the ground. Now you see here the ground and a mast. You see here, this is the mast, a vertical mast. We draw a vertical mast here. Okay. Now the angle, here is the point A on the ground. Now suppose that this is the point A. Now the angle of elevation of the top of vertical mesh from A is 68 degree. Now this is the top point. Now that point we mention is B. Suppose. Now the angle of elevation of the top from A will be 68 degree. That is the 68 degree angle. The angle of elevation from the horizontal to the view of the view line of the object. Now this is the angle 68 degree. Now you see here the distance of the base of the mast from A is 45. This is the base of the mast. Now this base is, we name it as C. Now the distance between them is 45 meter. Now you have to calculate the height of the mast. You see here, this is the right angle triangle, and you use the trigonometric ratio rule. In the trigonometric ratio rule, that is opposite sides and that is adjacent side. Now opposite side, our adjacent side, will be equal to tan theta. Now here is the tan 68 degree. Now you see here, this is the angle correct to nearest centimeter. Now firstly we find the tan theta will be equal to, opposite side is h and the length is AC. Therefore h will be equal to AC into tan theta. Now we have to find the lower bound value of the height. That is lower bound value of the height. Therefore AC should be lower bound value and tan should be lower bound value. If the tan, you have to find lower bound value of tan, then theta will be lower bound. Now we see here the theta is 68 degree, and that is nearest degree, correct to nearest degree. It means 1 over 2, that is 0.5 plus minus 0.5 degree, and that value within the range of 0.5. Therefore, the lower bound value of theta will be 67.5. Now the height, you see here, the length AC, that length AC is 45 meter, nearest to meter. It means 45 plus minus 0.5, and a lower bound value of the length AC will be equal to 44.5. Now we substitute the value AC, that is 44.5 and 67.5. Now we take that 67.5. Now 67.5 tan, that's value 2.14, multiply 44.5, that is equal to 107.4. This is the height and this is the answer. Question 11. The diagram shows a regular pentagon ABCDE with center O. AB is equal to 6 centimeter. OD is D centimeter. Show that D equal to 5.10, correct to 2 decimal place. Now this is the pentagon. Therefore, the interior angle of the pentagon can be found by using interior angle of pentagon of any polygon. This is the formula. Each interior angle, that is each interior angle of polygon or pentagon, suppose, that will be equal to n minus 2 into 180. Here is n is 5. 5 minus 2 into 180 divided by 5. The answer is 3 multiply 180 over 5. and that is equal to 36 times 3 is 108, and that is the interior angle. Now this angle is 108. Now you see here this line D is from center to that vertex, and that line bisects the angle 108. It means that angle, when it bisects, that becomes 54. That angle is 108, and then it divides it. That angle becomes 54 degree. Okay, now we draw another line segment from O to the vertex. Now I draw it here, and this line having the same length D, and that is also the angle when the two sides are same, because you see here this is the isosceles triangle. When two sides are equal, the angle on base will be same. Now we write it as 54 degree here. Now we have to show that D equal to 5.14 degree. Now we draw a perpendicular from O to AB. Now we draw perpendicular here. You can say altitude on base. This is the altitude. Okay. Now you see here, this is the right angle triangle. And in this right angle triangle that let's suppose we make here is this right angle triangle. That is the length that AO, and we name it as suppose point M. Now this AM is equal to 3 because the altitude bisects the base in isosceles triangle. That is equal to 3 centimeter, and that is D, and that angle is 54 degree. Therefore, you can find easily using the trigonometric ratio, that is adjacent over hypotenuse. Now the adjacent over hypotenuse ratio, that equal to cos of theta, that is cos 54 degree. Now the adjacent side is 3, hypotenuse is D, cos 54 degree, and that is D will be equal to 3 over cos 54 degree. You see here 3 divided by 54 cos, that is equal to 5.10. Now you can see here this is the answer. 5.10 is the answer. Part B, volume of pyramid is 1/3 base area into height. Now the regular pentagon ABCDE forms the base of the pyramids, and the vertex ref is vertically above A. The length of each sloping edge of pyramid is 14 centimeter. Calculate the volume of the pyramid. Now the formula of the volume of pyramid is that 1/3 base area into height. Now the base area you see here, this is the base, is the pentagon. Now the base area into height. Height is, you see here, this is the height OF. Now to find, firstly we find the base area. You see here, this is we already find the length of D. You see here, this is the D length, and that is the D length, and that is length is 5.10. That length is given 5.10 is length. Now these two lengths OA and OB are equal, 5.10, and the angle between them is 54, and that is 54. Therefore, the angle AOB is 72 degree. Now the base area of whole pentagonal shape will be equal to 5 times the area of triangle. 5 times area of triangle OAB. Triangle OAB. Now the area of that is the base area. Now you see here, this is the 5 time multiply area of triangle. Now we use the formula 1/2 AB into sine angle between the sides of AB. This is the angle between sides of AB. Therefore, we can write it 5 multiply 1/2. A length, you see here, this is the length OA, and that is 5.10. Next is that length is 5.10. And second is the sine of sine 72 degree. Now, next is we have to find length OF. Now the length OF, you can see here, this is the slant length is, that is 14 centimeter. These lengths are 14 centimeter. Now this length D is 5.10, and that is the height. Now we draw a right angle triangle here. This is the right angle triangle, and this is the slant height, and that length is named as, you see here, that is O, that is P, and that is F. Now that length is 5.10, and this length FB is 14 centimeter. We can find OF. Now OF is the perpendicular sides, and that is base. Therefore, the perpendicular length OF will be equal to, OF square will be equal to 14 square minus 5.10 square. Now we can write it as OF will be equal to 14 square minus 5.10 square equal to 196 minus, we take the value 5.10 whole square. Now 5.1 square, that is equal to 26.01, and the square root of this, we see that that value will be equal to 170 square root. Now this is the height of the pyramids. Now the base area, we find this value. Now 5 divided by 2 multiply by 5.10 square multiply 72 sine, that's equal to 61.84. Now we write it 61.84. Now the base, now that's the volume of pyramid, will be equal to 1/3, that is base area, multiply 61.84 multiply square root of 170. Now we see that 170 square root is 13.03 multiply 61.84 multiply 1 divided by 3, that is equal to 268.7. Now you can write it as 269 cubic centimeter is the volume, and this is the answer.